hello again. We're gonna be doing a Book of Who's response to Mark Babylon, I believe his name is Marky Babylon or whatever it is. He did a video a while back about booking from 2010 TLC to WrestleMania. I'm taking it a little bit further back, going from the Survivor Series onto WrestleMania 27. So he was booking from TLC to WrestleMania 27. I'm going back a further month and booking till then. Now, basically, it's a nice Survivor Series. I'm taking over the booking, and I'm being left with a bunch of crazy shit, especially as it pertains around Cena. We need to do something here to change things up. Status quo has been going way too long with him. He's Full Killer brought this up in a video of his, that the minute Cena won the belt, his whole character sort of changed, and he became this very much 95 Lex Luger type character. I'm gonna put in 100% effort and I respect you, and you really need to have an anti-hero. Especially look at the films now, The Dark Knight and various Breaking Bad. The anti-hero is the thing that's still in, very much so. So, yeah. What we're gonna do with, but before we get to Cena, we're gonna be dealing with Daniel Bryan and Ted DiBiase. Same result. Daniel Bryan goes over. John Morrison versus Sheamus. Same sort of match. John Morrison goes over. Dolph Ziggler with Vickie Guerrero goes over Kaval, and Kaval puts up one hell of a fight. This is a very back and forth type of match. It goes up quite a little bit longer than what had happened, but there is numerous times here you legitimately think that Kaval's going to go over and win the Intercontinental title. Team Mysterio versus Team Del Rio, same result. You have him go over. Natalya versus Lake Cool. She absolutely carves them up. But there's numerous times where she's a little bit in jeopardy, but she goes over quite easily. Kane versus Edge. Instead of a draw, I don't believe in draws when it comes to pay-per-views, unless it's like a multi-fall match or there's a time limit draw. Same sort of shit. Kane goes over here clean. Well, not clean, but uses some nefarious tactics to pin Edge. The Nexus also uses nefarious tactics to pretty much just demolish Santino and Kozlov. After the match, they just pile into the ring, everyone except Wade Barrett, and they just beat the hell out of Santino and Kozlov. Okay, and now here we are to the main event. We're going to book this. Now, had I had the option, I would have laid some groundwork that there was reasons why Cena couldn't just walk away, because Cena's pretty well off even here. I'd have to come up with some sort of reason why he has to stay employed with the WWE. So, but unfortunately I can't do that because I set the parameters that I'm booking here from here onwards. So Cena is going into this match a little bit concerned and not really happy that he's gonna have to use some nefariousness to go do some stuff here. So what happens is Cena is refereeing, and at the aisleway, the Nexus guys are all there. Towards the end of the match, obviously Heath, Slater and Justin Gabriel have had showers and whatnot, and sort of standing there with towels over them, and they're just watching the match. And they come walking down to ringside, but they don't interfere. And there's numerous opportunities where they have the opportunity, but they don't interfere. Enough so that at least the announcers comment on this. Now I'm using that from a booking video that Full Killer did, but there's a different result here. So they stay at ringside. Wade Barrett manages to get an opportunity to pin, and then Cena gets down 1, 2, 3 and calls for the bell. And Randy Orton looks at him and he's like, the Nexus come in, they beat the hell out of Randy. It's like, what, 5-on-1. Wade Barrett helps him out, and he's like, Wade Barrett's smiling. He goes to shake Cena's hand, and then Cena goes, look behind you, and then there's all the Nexus guys, they go after him. And the announcer's going, what the hell's going on? The Nexus has turned on Wade Barrett. And then Cena sort of relaxes in the corner, crosses his legs, and is like, ha ha ha. Cena grabs the mic and says, you've just unleashed a monster, or something to the effect of that. More of this will get explained on the following Raw. So they all walk away, and Cena's leading them. And the announcers are still going, what the hell's going on? They're about to wrap up the pay-per-view. Cena and that have gone to the back. Out comes the Miz. He comes out, pins Wade Barrett. 1, 2, 3. Miz is celebrating in the ring like he's just won the main event at WrestleMania. But at the same time, Randy Orton's getting up. He looks over. He's pissed. RKO on the Miz. And Alex Riley jumps in and is like, whoa. And then he looks up. RKO. And then right after that, also Wade Barrett's getting up. Same thing. RKO on him as well. And that's how we fade out. Just gonna have to stop the video for a sec. Be right back. Alright, so the following night at WrestleMania, the following night on Raw, John Cena comes out. He's wearing, he's not wearing a shirt, but all the other guys have sort of got coats on. They're not really showing anything. It's just that they're wearing like jackets. And Cena's sort of like, all of you have turned on me. No one in the back was helping me when I needed them. So I decided to make the best out of a bad situation. I was not going to be someone's lackey. I'm John Cena. I'm the face of the WWE, and I am not going to be caught under anyone's thumb. So if I was going to be part of the Nexus, I was going to lead the Nexus. And that's the problem. I don't believe in the Nexus. I've decided to change the name, and the guys unzip their shirts. There's still the Nexus logo, but they're the N's in Chain Gang. So now he's got his Chain Gang back, and you sort of see them now. They're all got the they all got chains around their fists and stuff. Wade Barrett comes out. He's like, "What the heck's going on? I brought this group together. What the hell have you done?" And they all just say, we were sick and tired of following you. The other thing is, also later on in the night, John sort of wants to trim the herd a bit too, because there was so many guys in this thing that there didn't need to be that many guys. Also, so yeah, the other thing is we're going to trim the herd. Husky Harris is going to be left out in the cold. He's going to lose a match. They're going to beat up on him, but eventually he ends up teaming up with Ted DiBiase to form a new tag team called New Money. If you know anything, the Ted DiBiase's dad and Husky Harris's dad were originally Money Inc. And yeah, they did that. So I decided to team these two guys together. I thought they might make a pretty good tag team. Plus, at the time there wasn't like going on in the tag team division. There wasn't really, and I think Ted DiBiase really needed to be in a tag team at this time. I think they put him out on his own a little bit too early. Anyway, so yeah, you got that one, that situation going on. So Wade Barrett's not happy. He's sort of come to the conclusion that he's got to get revenge on Cena. He's sort of semi-turned babyface now, but he's still probably not getting the reaction from the crowd that to cheer. But he's sort of a tweener. He's in the process of turning babyface. And plus, at this time, there wasn't a lot of talent. Really, the rosters weren't really even. They're sort of like all these guys on Raw, and I've looked at it. There wasn't a lot of the SmackDown roster was injured. So eventually, after TLC, I'm going to send Wade Barrett to SmackDown. So Wade Barrett somehow gets a title shot. So does John Cena gets awarded one. Because there's going to be a 4-way, because Randy Orton's getting his rematch clause. So's Wade Barrett. Miz is the champion, and we're getting Cena in there as well. So, we get that match. Daniel Bryan is going to be taking on Michael Hennig. Now, I hate the name McGillicutty because everyone knows that this guy is Mr. Perfect's kid. Let's embrace that. This guy, I know they say they don't put the name on him so he's not under pressure. Well, sorry, but the internet these days, all you need to do is look up somebody's wiki page, and there you go. You know why he's getting his thing. So just embrace it. And Cena sort of puts this on him that he is, you're not Michael McGillicutty anymore. You're Michael Hennig. So yeah, that's him. And he doesn't win the title because, but he manages to get some of his heat back, so he's not kicked out of the group. Natalya and Beth Phoenix team up to take on Lay Cool. This is to sort of set up what I want to do at WrestleMania, which is have the ultimate Divas match. And we're going to have Natalya teaming up with Beth Phoenix here to sort of send Lay Cool away. And yeah, bye-bye. They get absolutely smashed and destroyed. even might have like an injury angle involved in this. Our first of the tables, ladders, chairs, and TLC. Tables match, tag team match. Heath, Slater, and Justin Gabriel going over Santino and Vladimir Kozlov. And Vladimir's going through the table because it's a little bit more for that. Ladder match, Dolph Ziggler versus Kaval. This is also billed as Kaval's last chance. Now, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know I like adding the stipulation that if to end a feud, if a certain person loses, they can no longer get a title shot, as long as that person's champion. See, now that's an easier way of keeping with the stips. So we say that this is Kaval's last shot at the Intercontinental title, so he can still go after other belts, and he can still stay active. And I think this would be quite a hell of a match. So yeah, and yeah, it's another one where it's so close. Like, I think I'd even go to the point where they're reaching for the belts and the camera's focused on them and the announcers are going, oh, he's reaching for it, and then out of nowhere, blow on Kaval by like Vickie Guerrero, and he's like, no. Alright, there we go. And from that we go into the chairs match, which is Miz, John Cena, Wade Barrett, and Randy Orton. And the reason this is not the main event is because I didn't want to do back-to-back ladder matches, and I think, yeah, that needs to happen. And plus, I'd probably book this under elimination rules, and I'd have it come down to Wade Barrett and Cena. Like, Miz just gets eliminated early, so we're guaranteed a new WWE champion. Cena goes over because we're getting a heel Cena as champion, which is something new. We haven't had that before. And plus, this is to set up some stuff later on. TLC match, Kane versus Edge versus Alberto Del Rio versus Rey Mysterio. Similar situation to the last match. This is to wrap up a whole bunch of angles in one hit. The Rey Mysterio Alberto Del Rio angle, the Edge and Kane angle. We combine those into one match. This would be like chaos. And essentially the way it would end is Alberto Del Rio wins the belt. I think he was over enough where we could book him into this situation. Okay. Let's go. Now let's go on ahead. Now we got quite a bit of a break between this and the Royal Rumble, because like the Royal Rumble, I think was like towards the end of the month. This was like that TLC was like in the middle of the month, so there's like a 6-week break. Wade Barrett has been moved to SmackDown due to he had a title versus loser leave town situation. John Cena went over, and I know I am sort of like getting out, but like Wade Barrett wasn't really ready for the main event, and I'm moving him to SmackDown to sort of fill out that roster, and I think he would do well over there. But it wouldn't be like the end of the whole Cena and Wade Barrett thing. I think we would do something with them later on. The other thing is Vince McMahon makes an appearance on the Raw after the New Year. He says this is the beginning of a new era in the WWE. We have merged the Divas title, the tag titles, and now we're going to merge the world title. How we're going to do this is the Royal Rumble winner is going to go into a match against both of the World Champion and the WWE Champion, because the winner of that match is going to leave WrestleMania as the one and only WWE World Champion, undisputed champion, and I think that's the best way of doing it. You merge the two belts. You hopefully have built this out long enough that you can have a new belt created. So the night after WrestleMania, it's there, and you can kick off another era, similar to what they did with Austin when they had the Eagle belt and they moved it to that big, well, what I like to call the WWE's big gold belt. Yeah, so that happens. So we go into this, and everyone's sort of still, it's the road to WrestleMania. People are going, Jack Swagger is going up again, is sort of like developing this, I have to get into WrestleMania, I'm the new guy. So the sort of thing I'm probably going to end up doing with SmackDown is going to be the Young Lions sort of brand, and Raw is sort of the more established guys. So there's not like this A and B show, it's just there's the Young Lions show and the established guys show, sort of thing. And also I had to think ahead of this that this was going to be Edge's last thing. So while Edge was sort of established, I didn't want to do that. I sort of had this theme for the main event of WrestleMania 2. So going into the Royal Rumble, we kick things off with a 4-way tag team title match. 2 teams from Raw, 2 teams from SmackDown. The team, we got Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater taking on Kaval and JTG. They're sort of my small but quicker guy tag team. New Money, Ted DiBiase and Husky Harris. Their gimmick is sort of similar to what Priceless was, where Money and we're new, and the Hart Dynasty as well. And we just have Justin Gabriel and Heath Slater go over, because this is a 1 pinfall to a finish match. World title match. Alberto Del Rio and Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger wins a match on right afterwards. He's like designated the next guy because like all those other guys have sort of had their title shots. So Jack Swagger was like the only other guy that I saw that was like in that sort of contention. I know he was sort of waning here, but I think you could build him up enough that and plus this is not, Jack Swagger's not the babyface, neither is Alberto Del Rio. It's heel versus heel. It's similar to what happened with Kurt Angle and Triple H at the 2001 Royal Rumble. They're both heels, so it's sort of like trying to out-cheat one another. Then we have WWE title match, John Cena versus R-Truth. R-Truth has sort of like advanced here. He's had like a number of victories recently over pretty well-established guys. And he's sort of earned this opportunity. And he's sort of been been sort of like the DDP of Nexus. John Cena sort of like tried to bring him in, but you sort of have that situation similar to that, where R-Truth wasn't really interested. He's sort of like, Cena's sort of like, we're both rappers, we're both from the streets, you've been kept down, and he's like, well, eventually R-Truth just sort of says, well, it's your fault. You stole my gimmick. I was the rapper long before, while you were the prototype. While you were trying to be a pretend Terminator, I was out there laying down the beats and all that sort of thing. Sorry, I'm not into rap, so he would sort of bring that, say, hey, you stole my gimmick. And maybe even go to the point where the only reason you're getting this opportunity is because you're white, sort of thing. I hate going there, but yeah. Not much to report about the Royal Rumble. I just wanted to say that CM Punk wins. I might even have him go from coast to coast because I'm going to re-establish him as a babyface. Because Cena's turned heel, I want CM Punk to be a babyface. Yeah, sort of thing. And while we're going into that, CM Punk is dealing with Cena. CM Punk's just running through Nexus, guys. He's usually the main event or the semi-main event is CM Punk just going through the Nexus, guys. And at Elimination Chamber, he's on commentary and he's there because he wants to scout the competition for WrestleMania, because he wants to see both Alberto Del Rio's match and the Raw Elimination Chamber match. Now, there is only going to be one chamber because I believe that there wasn't enough talent on SmackDown to justify having one for that. Plus, Alberto Del Rio is fairly new talent, and I just want to put him in situations where he can go over one guy at a time. So we kick off this with Nexus, Heath Slater, and Justin Gabriel going over the new Dude Busters, which is Trent Barretta and Kurt Hawkins. That's just a team I put together. US title, Daniel Bryan versus William Regal. William Regal sort of is like kind of upset with Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan has never given him an opportunity at the US title. Regal has sort of been on the outs, I think, by now, and he wants an opportunity to prove himself. And he does quite well, but Daniel Bryan ends up going over with LaBelle Lock, trying to establish that, and this will again set up another match at WrestleMania between these two. Dolph Ziggler versus Kofi Kingston. Dolph Ziggler goes over Kofi, and it's just Kofi's been situated as the next challenger. He's the next one in line. Running low on battery here, so I'll finish this off really quick. Then we got Alberto Del Rio versus Edge. Alberto Del Rio, of course, goes over. John Cena versus The Miz versus R-Truth versus Randy Orton versus Sheamus versus John Morrison. Now, John Morrison does pretty well in this. He eliminates Sheamus, The Miz in rapid succession. Sheamus and John Morrison start off this thing, and bam, it's really quick. Right before the countdown starts, John Morrison pins Sheamus. Whoa. Former world champion. Miz, same deal. Pins his former tag partner right before the next one. Then, of course, Randy Orton comes in, and he can't do it. He just can't get past him. Randy Orton pins R-Truth. It eventually comes down to Cena versus Randy Orton. And that is really quick, but Cena just uses heel tactics. He goes into his pocket, wham, right after Randy Orton pins John Morrison. He whacks him in the face with a chain, and 1, 2, 3. He's like, yes. Then we'll go to WrestleMania. Now, I had a little bit of problems because Christian comes back at Elimination Chamber. I wouldn't have him come out and help Edge because Edge would sort of ask him, are you back? And he's like, I'm this close to being ready. to come back, and I've got a plan for us. And Edge says, yeah, just let me go and deal with Alberto. He doesn't manage to deal with him at the pay-per-view. So Christian says, I know we haven't seen eye to eye recently, but what do you say about bringing back the era of awesomeness, sort of thing? He says this on the final SmackDown, and they sort of go spend the rest of the month and the lead up to WrestleMania teaming together and eventually getting the tag title shot. They end up doing that. But first, it's Dolph Ziggler versus Rey Mysterio. Dolph sort of wants to start proving himself as the best Intercontinental Champion of all time, and one of the Intercontinental Champions is Rey Mysterio. He's sort of like one guy out there I want to see do this, but eventually I'd hope to build this up to a Dolph Ziggler sort of doing a similar thing to what Santino did, and have himself try to legitimately beat the Honky Tonk Man's record, and possibly even bring Honky Tonk Man in right before he ends up beating the record at some point. Eventually I'd have him go over Goldust as well during this time. Just to, after the draft, I'd bring Goldust over to SmackDown. Maybe bring the Rhodes brothers together a bit early. But yeah, also Edge and Christian, they're teaming up to face Heath, Slater and Justin Gabriel, but as well as Alex Riley and The Miz. And again, I'm not entirely sure I should have Edge and Christian go over, but seeing as I know what happens, I might actually do the thing where they go over, and then after WrestleMania maybe do a tag tournament to sort of revitalize the tag team division, and possibly even have Christian end up teaming with Randy Orton as a tag team. US title submission match, Daniel Bryan versus William Regal. And the other thing I would do with this is have it be William Regal's last stand sort of thing. William Regal goes into this saying, if I can't beat you, if the teacher cannot beat the student, I'm done. I think at this time we can have that go through. The other thing that I would do in this time as well, the mystery general manager will have been revealed to be, I'm going to say Bret Hart. Technically, I think he was still under contract. If not, get him. That wouldn't be that hard. Like I said, also here, this is also Divas Championship. Natalya would have Snooki in her corner, and Laycool would be in Beth Phoenix's corner just to do that thing. And I think Beth Phoenix was sort of on her way out, so I'd have Natalya go over. Kane and the Big Show versus Triple H and Randy Orton. Now, the story behind this is Kane and Big Show sort of spoil Triple H's return. There's that big Raw that was happening. I think it was like the 900th episode or the 1000th episode or something, where Triple H came back. Kane and Big Show would sort of show up, double choke slam Triple H, and say, I guess the game's over, sort of thing. And Triple H would seek out help, and Ric Flair would be there and say, what do you think about getting the band back together? And Ric Flair sort of puts the two, Randy Orton and Triple H, together again, and it's sort of a mini Evolution reunion, but essentially, sorry to say, but this is just my way of getting these 4 guys on the card. I thought about putting Kane and Big Show in the tag title situation, but at the time I was thinking of having just Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel go over, so I didn't want to stack that match too hard to either. I'd already had a 4-way match. I thought just doing a triple threat would help. Undertaker versus Jack Swagger. This is just this is another one in the streak. Jack Swagger sort of steps up, says, "I'm the All-American American. I'm ready to step into the darkness and walk out the other side, defeating the Undertaker's streak." And Swagger probably would get pretty close. I'd try and have those hope spots, and I'm of the belief that the streak shouldn't end, but the thing is, you need to, in the match, give the young guy, hopefully have some hope spots where you would think the streak was going to end. It was really, legitimately, try and have that Shawn Michaels, Undertaker thing of that you would suspend it for a while. Yeah, and time for the Undisputed Championship. The other thing is, the special guest referee of this is The Rock. So, the theme of this is past, present, and future. We have the past in John Cena. John Cena has been around for a fair while by now. He's been around the block a few times. He's won that title numerous times. CM Punk, he's won it before. He's won the world title before. This would be his first opportunity. I think this would be his first opportunity at the WWE title. But okay. And you got Alberto Del Rio. Now, who is the future? He's a well-established guy and hopefully would have been around a little bit longer in my book. But I think you got one hell of a triple threat match here. There you got a guy that you're building up, a rookie champion, a guy that's been there before, and a guy that's been there many times before. And you got the special guest referee in The Rock, who is an X Factor. You don't know where his loyalties lie with any of this. Plus, you got that. The other thing is, I would do the plan out that Cena thing the next night and have Cena go into that match heel. So it's different. You don't have that babyface thing. You have that that upstart guy that wants to beat the Rock. And I would probably even have Cena blame The Rock for him losing the championship, because I don't think Cena really needs to wear the belt after this point. He has established himself. He is the guy, sort of thing. But it's time to sort of let the young guys sort of take the reins a bit. So yeah, you've got I think that's a better card, and I'd have that timed out a lot better than the 27 one. So, anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. This was a lot shorter than I thought it would be. So, see you.